I'm proud of you guys. You made it to the end, and I know it wasn't easy to do this in 6 weeks. So let me explain a little bit more about why I set the class up the way that I did. It's kind of, I don't want to say, it's kind of like a head fake if you watched the the last lecture. So head fake is when you think you're learning one thing, but you're really learning something else. And I was kind of hoping to teach you a little bit more about time management this term. And so, of course, there was a lot of separate assignments, a lot of things to keep track of. I told you to get your day planner and to use that. And if you used your day planner and worked through all of that as you were going through this 6 weeks, I guarantee you've learned something about time management and that you've improved upon it in such a way that maybe it's going to be easier for you in your other classes. The other thing that I like to do in my classes is I noticed like a long time ago that a lot of my students, whether they're online students or in-person students, that they tend to skip over instructions. And a lot of people do this. And in fact, in some of my other classes, like we do a full I guess activity related to why people don't follow instructions. But I wanted to kind of throw this out there for you now. This class was based off of following a series of instructions for every single assignment. And I did lay down like these are the instructions, this is what you need to do very specifically. And most of your points that you got marked off throughout the term were for not following directions. So most of the time when you were answering questions, it wasn't that you got the question wrong per se, it was that you did the assignment incorrectly because you didn't follow the directions. And yes, there were some really ridiculous things that I asked you to do throughout the semester in terms of, following the instructions. But I wanted you to learn that following the instructions is what college is about. So if you want to be successful in college in any way, or if you want to be successful at many jobs, you really need to know how to follow the instructions and that it's important to read them. Because most of us, like we'll get our cell phone, new cell phone, we're like, oh, I've had an iPhone before, I don't need to read the directions because I've already used an iPhone. I'm an expert. I don't need this. But for a lot of us, we don't even know half the things our phone does because we never read the manual. We have to learn from our friends kind of how it works. And the way we're learning is we're learning from other people who have actually followed the instructions. So it would serve you well to actually look through your manual and read it and see how things are working so you know what to do with your phone and you know what your phone's capabilities are. I would say I don't even know what all my phone's capabilities are because I have not read the entire manual. I kind of read when I need it, I'll read the instructions. But when it comes to college, like you really have to read the instructions as you go through an assignment and especially on tests. I know we didn't have any tests in this class, but just for you, I'm throwing that out there. Like you should make sure that you read all the instructions on your test because sometimes they're not what you would think. And when I do give quizzes and tests, I always make my instructions a little bit more complicated or not what you think. So like if there's a multiple choice test, you may not have just one answer that you need to circle. Maybe you need to circle two answers per question. I don't know, just stuff like that to kind of mix it up and make it so you realize that not every set of instructions is going to be the same. Not every class is going to be the same. The expectations of your teachers and your instructors are going to differ. And also with employers as well, your one boss may be this way and another boss may be another way. So we took a lot of personality tests in here and things like that. So hopefully you kind of got an understanding that, hey, we are not all the same and we all like different stuff and we all require different things. And we need to make sure that we are adapting to the situation and the types of people that are around us. I do hope you're excited that you do have a portfolio now that you can use anytime. So even if you apply for a job in 5 years, you can still go back and use the template for your resume and just update stuff. I recommend keeping copies of your resume every time you update it. So that way, if you need to go back to an older version, you've got it. But same thing with cover letters and everything else. You should be able to crank those out pretty easily now after I've made you create like 3 of them. And applications should be a little easier. If you did some of the extra credit applications, you've done quite a few of them. So it's just practice, and it's just one of those things where it's nice to have this portfolio where you can draw upon. Oh, you got a list of references in there, you've got your cover letters, you've got your resume, you've got all of your career research in there, which is fantastic because trust me, career research is one of those things where you'll probably find, like, I'm so happy I took Guidance 3 just because now I know where to look to research careers. I mean, even if it's just you go on ONET and you look at stuff, at least you know that ONET exists and you can just go look up any career anytime you want. A lot of people don't realize that, and they don't even know what careers are available to them. So even if you just ruled out some stuff this semester, then you are successful, okay? Because a lot of us, we don't know what we want to do for a living at all. Maybe you came into into this class that way. Maybe you came in thinking you wanted to do something and you you switched to something else. Either way, whether you know definitively what you want to do now or whether you just kind of narrowed it down, that's still a successful semester. It takes a while, I think, for some of us to realize what we want to do. And I think as opportunities open up for us, it helps guide our choices as well. So maybe if you see an opportunity, you might be like, maybe that's something I can do. Let me go this way. And you probably wouldn't have gone that way because any other time, but it's just you had the opportunity and it was available. So please remain open. Even if you think, oh, I got it nailed down, this is what I want to do, remain open to change, because people, despite what people say, like, oh, people never change. Well, I mean, there's some parts of your personality that are core to your personality that probably aren't going to change, but there's a lot of things that can change about you, like your behaviors. So, and your environment. So your environment's going to affect, how you feel, how you behave, what you learn, what's important to you. So yes, you could change into a completely different person. I remember when I was really young, I was an athlete. I'm not an athlete anymore. So things change. You become different. You require different things. So do not be afraid over the course of your life to change your mind. Maybe go into one career now and go into another one later. There's no rule that says you're stuck in the same career the rest of your life, or that there's one correct, right career for you. There's probably a lot of correct careers for you, and that's why it's so difficult to choose, because you have so many options available to you, which is fantastic. So I just wanted to tell you that no matter what you ended up coming up with in terms of this is what I want to do during this term, it may not be the same as it is next year or 2 years from now or 3 years from now. So be open and adapt. That's what the best advice I can give you. Thank you so much for letting me be your instructor this term. I really appreciate, all the hard work you guys put in. Trust me, I put in a lot of hard work. I was very busy this term, but I hope it's worth it for you guys, and I know it's worth it for me to see you guys find some of the careers that, might change your life, change the course of your life, and make your life more fulfilling, happy, and meaningful to you. Okay, so I'm really happy for you. Also, I do have a teacher evaluation survey that I would like you to fill out. If you could please just take a minute, because I only get evaluated once every 3 years, which in my opinion is not often enough. But I would really appreciate it if you took the time just to tell me, what you liked about the class, what you didn't like. Of course, I know that there's a lot of assignments and we're super busy, but this is a 6-week summer school class. So yeah, no matter what class you're taking, it's going to be busy, right? Luckily, we didn't have any tests, right? That probably was a big load off. But hopefully you did learn a lot too. And if you do have complaints, that would be a good place to stick them. If there's something that you think I should change for the better, I'm open to suggestions, because like I'm always looking to change and to become better than I am now. So even though I've been teaching a long time, I think there's still always room for improvement. And you guys are the ones that can tell me what I need to improve on. So I would appreciate if you took the survey. Thanks in advance. And we also have a discussion this week, a course wrap up. And what you're going to be doing is taking your section 22. This is what did you learn in the class? And you have a little thing you write up. I think it's a 1-page minimum. So you do need to copy and paste that text into the discussion. into the text box, please don't upload a document, okay? Please put it up in the text so that way we can see that. I want everybody to take a look at what everybody else learned. I find that this is the best way to end the class because sometimes it's like you learn one thing, somebody else learns something else. Like maybe like the holy grail of everything that you learned in this class was, you know, this one thing. Maybe it was the MBTI. Well, for somebody else, MBTI wasn't that important, but they really appreciated the part about interviewing that really helped them. So, you know, whatever works for you guys or whatever you learned, there's no right or wrong answer, obviously. It's just kind of a, hey, let's all get together and talk about what did we actually get out of this hard work that we put in for 6 weeks? What did we really learn? Or what are the important things that we're going to take away? Like what really stuck with me? Okay, so put those into the course discussion. I'm going to be looking at all that stuff, of course, when I grade. So it helps me to kind of see, okay, these are the things that students are taking away from the class. I am really sad that the semester's over, even though it was a lot of hard work on my part and probably on your part too. But I do wish you well. And please know that I will always be here if you need a reference for something. But please let me know if you're going to use me as a reference because especially because you are online students, so I never met you in person. So it's hard for me to remember you just by your name, especially if you didn't have a picture up on Canvas. I asked you guys, please put a picture up so I know what you look like, so I remember you. But because I don't really tend to remember names so well. But if you remind me who you are, what semester you took the class, and give me some background information, then I can give you a great reference, whether it's for a job or for something else, okay? You can also keep in touch with me if you'd like via Facebook. My first and last name, Amy Borgi. I'm the only Amy Borgi on Facebook. Imagine that. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm really unique. I have a unique name. It's Italian, by the way, via marriage. So my maiden name was actually really common. It was Amy Gill. So Amy Borgi is a little bit, ooh, you know, kind of different. I'm also on Snapchat and Instagram, but I don't really go on there as much. I'll post like some stuff every once in a while on Snapchat, but it might be a good way for you to just keep tabs on me. So if you need me for something, you can easily, you know, grab me. But my my handle on both of those is the same. It's CME underscore sparkle. Just the word sparkle. So it's CME underscore sparkle. And that's Instagram and Snapchat, and feel free to hit me up, okay? It's been a pleasure, and I thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the summer, and enjoy yourself. All right, bye-bye.